There was a janitor who died with a savings of $8 million, and in the same breath, there was also a millionaire who went bankrupt after 2018 financial crisis. Hello friends, welcome back to this YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for liking and sharing my content. If you are new here, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video and leave a comment below. There was a janitor who died with a savings of $8 million, and in the same breath, there was also a millionaire who went bankrupt after 2018 financial crisis. So if you're wondering what you're talking about, I'm going to discuss 10 or 9 lessons that I have learned from this book, The Psychology of Money. And this is one of the books that you may want to read if you want to improve your finances, how you think about money, and how also you'll be able to understand how other people relate with money and why they make the decisions that I make, and also yourself, why you make financial decisions the way you do and how you can change them for the best interest of yourself. When I started, I said there was a janitor who died with around $8 million in savings, and while there was a millionaire who became poor or became bankrupt after the 2008 financial crisis. The difference between these two is that the janitor was able to save little money over a long period of time while living below his means, and the rich person or the millionaire was living a luxurious life. He never invested on anything, he never saved, he always spent on lifestyle and buying fancy things. And when 2008 came, he became bankrupt because his main source of income was affected, and that's how he became poor. The first lesson that I've learned from this book, Psychology of Money, is no one is crazy. People from different generations view money differently. The same way people from a poor background will view money differently as compared to people who come from rich or well-off families. And for instance, you'll find a poor person would freely, they will just freely, no one will push them, they will always bet money. And according to statistics, people who bet money, they spend around $500 in a year on the lower side to bet. And when you ask this same person to have a savings account or an emergency fund worth similar amount, they will not be able to raise that amount of money. And that's where the psychology of money comes in. It's because this person views the betting as one way that they will get miraculous winning and get that huge amount of money at once, while someone who is well educated and knows that there is the secret of saving little money which can accumulate to a large amount of money, like the janitor in the story that we are given in this book by the author. The second lesson that I've learned is about luck and risk. When you look at Bill Gates, he was lucky to go to the only school that had a computer at the time, and that's how he was able to work his way through the computer, try different things, and created Google. Then he also made an offer to Yahoo, which the company declined, and over time Google has been able to surpass Yahoo company. Therefore, do not be quick to judge people, or you see people who are not making enough money and you think it's laziness. Not all poverty comes as a result of laziness, and also not all riches or wealth comes as a result of hard working. Everything is luck and risk. So it depends at what point you have risked your finances. If it's a business, maybe it's a shares that you have bought, you are not 100% sure that that shares is going to double or triple in 10 years. The shares you buy today could even be at a negative in the next 5 years, or it could have gained in the next 5 years. So that means that most of the things are based on luck and risk, but that does not mean that you should not try. You should keep on trying, keep on saving, keep on investing in legit businesses, and with time, if you get shares or an investor where the business grows, then you'll be able to enjoy the fruits of it. And also remember, bad decisions are here for us to learn and to improve our finances. And whichever financial plan that you have, it's important that you leave room for disappointment, because most of the time things will not go as planned. The third lesson that I've learned from this book is never enough. Like, if you have high financial discipline, you are able to know what is enough for you financially, and that means you'll not keep on changing the goalpost. Once you achieve something, you want more and more. And in this book, the author is talking about two investors that were involved in inside trading, and they had done this business for some time. They were getting money, but it was illegal, and they did not know when to say it's enough. And they were still making money as employees, and that's how they started doing the inside trading. And obviously all odds did not go as planned, and they were caught. They went to prison and they lost everything. So this means they lost everything. They were willing to lose what they had to gain what they did not have. And this shows that that is an act of greed. So in your financial journey, it's important to learn when you need to say this is enough for me, and keep it at that, and avoid those illegal deals that can lead you to even lose what you've already worked for. And having enough does not mean you have little. Having enough will vary from person to person depending on the lifestyle that you choose. But it is important to know when you achieve a certain financial goal, it's important not to keep on pushing the goalpost because of greed. You might end up losing what you already have. The fourth lesson I've learned is there is power in compounding. So do not feel bad about the small money that you are keeping away every month, or that money you are despising. You're saying this 1,000 or this 500 or this 300 I'm keeping away, it's too little. Do not despise that, because there is power of compounding. When we look at Warren Buffett, his wealth accumulated after his 50th birthday, and most of it was as a result of his investment to shares and compounding. According to history or whatever is written online, it shows that Warren Buffett started investing at 9 years old, and you can tell a 9-year-old person was investing very little amount of money. So as he continued, he never stopped. So that shows consistency. You should be consistent in your financial plans and savings, or even in investing in stocks. And his wealth was compounded when he was at his 50th birthday. That's when he was able to be listed in the Forbes, or in the top list of people who are wealthy in the world. And this leads us to the fifth lesson, where getting wealthy and versus staying wealthy is different. You can get wealth quickly or in a long period of time, and then you waste all that money into luxury lifestyle, or risking high risk, or risking the entire of your money into things that you are not sure about. But staying wealthy is the key. This book encourages us, or you, or anyone who is interested in improving their finances. It's all about making the right decisions of finances consistently. The author of this book gave us a story of two people. That was one, they were all investing in stock market, obviously in different shares, and one person, when the market crashed or there was a financial crisis, he lost everything that he had, and the loss was so huge that sadly he committed suicide. And the other investor made a kill out of that market crash, and he got overconfident, and he continued risking large amount of money, and when history repeated himself, he lost everything that he had invested. So it's important to learn that you can get wealthy and lose it if you do not understand how you should keep yourself wealthy. And to stay wealthy, you might want to combine frugality and paranoia. That means you are living below your means, and you are also paranoid about different investments. You are able to do your personal research before you invest on something. And living below your means does not mean you are poor, because living below your means is different for different people. For someone earning 100,000, them living everything and rent everything to be around 50,000 to 60,000, that is, they are living below their means. Another person could be earning 30,000, then they would want to keep their expenses at 15,000 up to 20 max. That's also living below your means. So it does not necessarily mean you are poor when you are living below your means. It just means whatever you're making, make sure that your recurrent expenses are between 50 to 60% of your income. The sixth lesson is you can be making wrong choices half of the time and still make a fortune. When you look at Warren Buffett, he had invested in around 500 stocks, and most of his money came from around 10 of them. And this is the part of the story that most people do not talk about. They focus on the ones that made him wealthy and forget that he invested in more than 500 or more than 400 stocks in his lifetime. So when you look at that percentage, it's very small. That's why the author was saying you can be making wrong choices financially and still make a fortune. The seventh lesson is wealth is what you do not see. And in most cases, when you see people flaunting their richness, their assets that they have bought, or cars, phones, clothes, fashion, anything they are flaunting online, that is not wealth. People who are wealthy do not even dress like it because they know the wealth is there. But for people who are rich, they want to prove a point to tell you that they are doing well. That's the difference. And the best way to stay wealthy is not to spend the money that you do not have. And how do you spend money that you do not have? Is by taking loans that you are not able to pay for, living a lifestyle that leaves you in debt every time. You are always on the negative. That means you're spending money that you do not have. And to make sure that you spend money that you have, it's important to maintain your expenses at 50 to 60%. And obviously you will desire more as time goes by. Then you need to structure your finances in a way that you need to earn more than what you desire to spend. And you can do this by negotiating a higher salary, learning a high-paying skill, doing side hustle, starting a business, and investing also in stocks. Those are some of the things that you can do to increase your finances so you can be able to match your spending power. And the last lesson that I'm going to discuss with you is people have power to save than they think. You have the power to save money than you think. It is easier for you to control what you spend than to increase what you make. That means you are the person who should be able to control your budget and be able to live below your means so that you can save for your emergency fund. You can be able to save to buy anything that you want to buy, and you can also be able to save to earn interest in a high interest accounts like a money market fund. One thing that you need to understand is you do not need a reason to save money. You can just save and make it a habit, and it will come in handy in a rainy day because you'll always have something to fall on. So with these lessons that I've shared with you, I hope you learn something, you take one or two principles that you can apply in your life. And remember to read also the book for yourself because it has a lot of wisdom. Psychology of Money is one of the best-selling books in finances today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember to hit that subscribe button, like, leave a comment, and share this video to anyone whom may benefit listening to it. Thank you.